Hey, what's up? It's Kit time for another video. Today we're pulling a reel from the archives. Okay, and this is something that I haven't really shown a lot of, but when I first got the reel, I did tease a little bit, and I wanted it in my collection really bad. Okay, background on this reel is that I wanted something that I would be able to use for casting live bait for big tuna. And at the same time, I also wanted to, kind of have something that I could use to deep drop some bait down deep when I'm bottom fishing. And I wanted something that I could use for not just bottom fishing, but also a little bit of trolling and all that. Basically, almost a do-it-all reel. It's in my favorite weight class as far as bigger reels are concerned, which is in the 50-pound test range. And I wanted it to have the capability of at least casting some lures. Heavier lures, but I wanted it to be castable. And I wanted it at least 2-speed. So, there's all those variables. And then I said, like, hey, you know what? Let's talk to Avet. So from that conversation, and at that point I didn't even know that I was talking to the owner, but yeah, we got it done, and we ended up with a reel that's actually quite rare. If you're new to the channel, this channel talks about the hows and whys of fishing. We cover everything from big game, ultralight, everything in the middle, including fly fishing. And today we are talking about the Avet Hxj 3-speed Raptor. And if you look at the serial number, that's 00025. They didn't really make, or are not really making, a lot of this. In fact, when I first spoke to the owner about this, there's only a handful of these. I mean, this is this frame for an Avet Raptor, and yeah, as far as 3-speed is concerned, at this point, the guys that had it were basically their internal guys. So yeah, I mean, no one actually found this sort of useful, I guess, or people would rather buy like an HXW or a regular HX. So, I ended up with something that's not as, I would say, not as attractive to a lot of people. Now, 3-speed, as you can see, there's first speed there, and then second, and then third. Okay? Now, as with any Avet, there's a little bit of back play. That's perfectly normal. And even if this is, a Raptor, it has that. That's normal. They don't have anti-reverse bearings. They actually have dogs to make them really, really secure. Now, years ago, I actually uploaded a video showing the back play of Avets. And I meant nothing wrong with it. I just wanted to show that there is a back play, because a lot of people often compare this with an Accurate. Okay, and Accurates actually have a bearing, an anti-reverse bearing. So what's so good about this reel? Now, as with any American-made product, they're bomb-proof pretty much. This is machined from T6 marine grade aluminum and stainless steel components. Anodized, obviously, beautiful finish. One-piece frame. One-piece frame. So this side right here, okay, one piece. This is another piece, and then the side plate, of course. This here, okay, normally what happens is that you can't get incremental settings, but this one, as soon as from free spool, you push it a little bit, and then it actually has like a drag applied to it. So if you're fishing live bait, you can adjust it so that you can have your bait just swim with a little bit of resistance. Obviously, if you want it free spool, you can just free spool it, and the free spool on this is actually really good. Remember, you can cast this thing and all you do is just adjust this. All right. Silent dog, very important, because normally when you have a dog, when you reel it in, it actually makes a sound. So silent dog, anti-reverse, and they said that this is the most reliable in the industry, and I would think so, because I haven't had a failure in my experience. I have a lot of Avets and I haven't had a failure when it comes to the what do you call this, the dogs. So really good. Carbon fiber drags, no question, with its stopping power, really really good. There was always been a problem with the clicker. Okay, this one does not. So they have upgraded the clicker on this, and some time ago actually, yeah, the clickers on Avets, they weren't that good. Quite nice if you're bottom fishing. If you're not bottom fishing, you don't really use it. So one of those things that I want to do with this reel is actually go surf fishing with it and targeting large rays. This is perfect for it. I actually have an old HX wide. No, sorry, just an ordinary HX, and I've caught big rays with it, and you know, I had a hard time casting it, but you know, with the right weight, actually casts really well. So with this one, with the MC cast, I'm pretty sure that it is gonna be even better. Also, this would be better casting because it has a narrower spool and it's easier to actually thumb. Also a lighter spool. Okay. 9 bearings for the Raptor as opposed to 8. Now, take note though, when it comes to Avets, the bearings are not that good. So if you're getting any Avet for that matter, after about 1 or 2 years, you're gonna have to replace the bearings. Okay, especially when you know, you reel in and it makes like a crunching sound. Bearings. Okay, that's something that you really need to what do you call this? Keep in mind. T-bar handle. Before, my HX actually had a round handle. I didn't like it. This has a T-bar, and yeah, really really good. I think this is something that is a very good addition to this whole thing. And even with me, and I have smaller hands, this is very comfortable. The initial thought of this reel is actually to use it for live baiting tuna, big tuna, and a handle that's big really helps a lot. Okay, so that's something that I think just helps a lot, especially this T-bar, because if you have a round handle, it's gonna be very difficult and you don't really have that much leverage. But this, with the grip that it gives you, A, and B, when you're cranking down, it's easier to actually kind of just push it down. And also, I think this is something that a lot of people don't really realize up until they're hooked up to something big and they're fighting. The angle of your wrist matters a lot. And this one, it's a natural angle. So when you're buying, you know, reels, you have a T-bar handle, and when you hold it, it makes it straight like that. It's not going to be as comfortable as when it is angled a bit. Okay, so that's one of the things. Now, MC cast, what I've noticed that in the I have an SX Raptor, so that's the smallest one they have. The magnet is a bit too strong. Now, full disclosure, I haven't actually put this on a casting rod yet. And this is one of the things that I actually want to do. I've just heard that there's a spot just down the street that they took the no fishing sign off of. And although I don't really have the interest to fish there, what would be nice is if we take a few, you know, pieces of gear there and then test them out. So at least we have something or somewhere to go and test out these things. And I'm really, really interested on how the MC cast on this works. See, the thing is, if they've put the same sized magnet that they used on an SX on this one, maybe it's good because it's too overpowered for the SX. Probably the same for the MXL and the MXJ or even the JX. But for this one, it could be really good. So we'll look forward to that. I actually have the perfect rod for that because aside from this, I also have I think I posted a video of it even. If not, there's a picture or a video on Instagram of me putting a static magnet on a Thorium 50. So I have a rod for that. So instead of the Thorium 50 on there or just the Thorium 50, what we're going to do is put this as well. Again, that rod specifically bought for big rays and sharks. So yeah, I mean, since we've moved here, I am really interested to actually use that. And I know some spots here with really big rays. So really looking forward to that. And the advantage of this, of course, is that it's narrow, so it's easier to, what do you call this, level the line as opposed to a bigger Thorium. And this is 3-speed, of course, whereas the Thorium is a single speed reel. Although that holds a lot more line, I put mono on that. And this, I put full braid. And this is 50-pound test. It could, and also this is Power Pro. So it tends to overtest. Realistically, this is closer to 80 than it is 50. And we have a lot on this one. So yeah, it's a reel that I really look forward to using. And I've had it in the cabinet for a while. I think one of the things that I believe this will shine is when I use it for the big tuna offshore, live baiting. And it's not as heavy as the ordinary HX because that has a wider spool. And with the ability to actually fine tune the lever drag, it's a very big thing when you're live baiting because sometimes you just want to peg that, kind of just give it enough when you're letting it swim, just giving it enough drag so that you don't tangle, and that's very, very important. Now, obviously, you use your thumb majority of the time for ordinary or other reels, but this one, because you can incrementally increase the drag, it's a really, really big thing, especially when you're initially dropping the bait. You don't want the spool to overspin. Okay, give it more. So the ability to basically do all the drop and keeping the spool with the right tension so that it doesn't have an overrun, which is the right term there, overrun, is very, very important. Because most of the time what I do is hold the rod, drop the bait, and then there's like a, what do you call this, drop back, and then it tightens as soon as the boat kind of just stops and slides. But with this, I don't even have to thumb it. I just have to mark. I can put like a piece of tape where it's just enough so that it doesn't overrun. And instead of holding the rod, what I can do is just put it on the rod holder. And what's important there also, and this is the most important thing, when the fish takes it and then it runs, there's no resistance. So for the first, let's say, 5 seconds of the fish taking the bait, being able to have very little resistance so that it doesn't have the what do you call this, the potential of an overrun is a really big thing. And yeah, just that in itself really, I think, pays for this reel in spades. Now, if I need to take up slack really, really fast, it has that really fast retrieve. Now, how fast is the retrieve? That is the what do you call this? The biggest question there. It is 47 inches, right there, 47 inches, and then drops down to 21, and then at the lowest speed, that is 11 inches per turn. So 5.4, and then 2.4, and then 1.3. 1.3 to 1. This thing is a winch. Okay? And at this point, really, you don't feel it. You know, it's like it's super, super strong. So yeah, this is something, you know. And it's very easy to operate, of course. You don't have to look at it. All you have to do is just press, and then as soon as you turn, it engages the speed, and then still the same. And then with either your pointer or your thumb, you know, you can just change speeds like that. You don't even have to look at it. Harness lugs, these are reversible. So you can opt to use a harness, okay, make it easier. Now, I have a heart condition, and I easily get tired in my upper body because of the stents in my heart. This helps me a lot. Okay, so basically I could just strap in, and then I could use my leg muscles more than my upper body, and then concentrate on the reeling. And yeah, it helps me. So this is one of the reasons why I'm busting this out, because it's just easier. You know, it'll help me out. Alrighty, so that is it. Now, capacity. It says that it can hold 300 yards of 80. I have a lot of line on this one because it's 50-pound braid. The measurement for 80-pound is actually J braid. Yeah, or no, sorry, it's JB line 1 braid. So that's in their website. Now, full drag, maximum 50 pounds, and then 40 at strike. So that's more than enough. More than enough. Okay. On the downside, this thing's kind of heavy. Okay, compared with let's say other reels from Shimano, this is heavy, but it's American. That's how they're built. They're built like tanks. Okay, so again, this is something that I really look forward to in using. And if I don't use it in the beaches here, it'll be on the boat chasing after tuna. So that's something that we're gonna be doing pretty soon. I am very, very much looking forward to that. Alrighty, again, this is the Avet Hxj 3-speed Raptor. Quite a rare reel, and this is more than likely the very first on what do you call this, on YouTube. So yeah, at least there's some data on this reel. Okay, and then we have an actual example. Okay, I think right now they're asking for $25 for this. I'm not too sure if I paid that. Maybe I did. Retail for this, I I actually bought this direct from Avet. So in the website, it is about just a little under $500. I'm not too sure exactly how much I paid for it, to tell you honestly. I have to check my records, but it wasn't cheap. And shipping for this, of course, from the US to here, extra, plus the tax. Alrighty, and I remember this. It was a long waiting time, and I actually had to make a follow up, which was funny because there was no record up until I spoke to the owner again. So yeah, there we go. Love this reel, and the fact that it's red, it's my color for these. So I have red accurate, red Avets. This is literally one of my favorites. So for you guys that think that I'm like this JDM boy, it's not. I love reels. I love gear. That's it. And this will be put to good use pretty soon. Alrighty, that's it for now. Thanks so much for watching. By the way, if you have questions, just drop them down in the comments, especially for this one, because I know that this is kind of rare. So, I'd be more than happy to answer questions if I can, if I have the data, of course. But majority of what this reel is I've already mentioned. If you learned from this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to show your friends and maybe they'd be interested in one of these, of course, share the video. And if you want to support this channel going forward, click on the membership button. Alrighty, that's it for now. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Class dismissed.